So, the Nintendo Switch 2. Let's talk about it for a minute. This video, I just want to say, the Switch 2 is not the Wii U. We're not going to have another Wii U situation. Why? Because different people were in charge of Nintendo at the time, right? Also, I'm sitting back more, and the reason why is because I want you to be able to see my whole Kirby shirt, because I like this shirt, and I just got it, and it's really cool. Anyways, it's not going to be another Wii U situation, and I'm going to kind of explain why. Yes, there was different people in charge of Nintendo at the time, and we had Reggie around and this and that, but the Wii U failed at launch. Why? There wasn't any games at launch, really. You had Nintendo Land, you had Zombie U. I got a Wii U when it first came out, all right? I got it that Christmas, and it came out, I think, in November of 2012, I want to say. And I got it that December for Christmas. So, the thing is that the Wii U, it just didn't have the games at launch. It didn't even have Mario Kart at launch. It didn't have a Mario game at launch. It had Mario Bros. U, I think, at launch. But it had nothing there to make people want to buy a Wii U day flippin' one. And then over time, my Wii U, yes, we did get Mario Kart 8 Original. Yes, we did get Zelda Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD. That's cool. And we did get we didn't get a mainline 3D Mario on the Wii U, which is insane. But we did get Smash for Wii U, which was also good. But the Wii U didn't really have a whole lot of games that made people want to buy the thing, especially because it wasn't a handheld either, you know. It wasn't a hybrid. The Switch was, it succeeded so much because the 3DS was a handheld, and the Switch is the best of both worlds, where it's a console and a handheld, and it did everything that it was supposed to do. Do I think the Switch 2 can succeed the same way the Switch will? We're living in a different time now, so I don't think it's going to succeed quite as much, especially because 2020 happened. We all know what happened then. And the Switch was lightning in a bottle, and everyone wanted to get a Nintendo Switch at the time. That way they had something to do with their families, with their friends, all that kind of thing. They weren't going to buy a PlayStation or an Xbox, because some people out there maybe, but like your casuals, your families, your family-friendly people, your grandparents, you name it, those kind of people, they were buying Nintendo because you have Mario Kart, you have Mario Party, you have all these different Mario games, you have Zelda, you have Kirby, you have fun games for kids, families, adults, grandparents, all that, all of the above. So at the time, that sold a lot of consoles. That being said, the reason why I'm making this video is because I want to say the Switch 2 is not going to be a Wii U situation, because the Wii U did not launch with hardly anything that made people want to buy the thing. And I'm going to be honest with you, I had the Wii U all the way up till the Switch came out with Smash Ultimate, and throughout the years, my Wii U just collected dust. It did, because games just weren't coming out for it that I was interested in. They just weren't. There wasn't very many. There was like one or two a year, maybe, if that, for the Wii U that came out that I really enjoyed. And they didn't have third-party support either, which was also a big thing. They didn't have really any third-party companies that wanted to agree with Nintendo at that time to put their games on the Wii U, because it just wasn't a successful console. And I think third-party companies maybe seen that, and it just wasn't something that they wanted to agree with. Now, I'm not someone who was in the meetings and this and that at that time, but during the Switch era, third-party companies were supporting Nintendo like crazy. I think it's because they seen the potential of what the Switch was and what it could be, and how it really could be magic, and that their games will sell well on this thing because it's both a console and a handheld. Maybe that's why companies agreed to be a part of the Switch. Or maybe it's because new people were in charge and they thought this is probably a good idea. So the Switch 2 is launching with Mario Kart World. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is in the top 10 highest selling games of all time, and I think it might be Nintendo's #1 highest selling game of all time. I'm not for sure on that one at the moment. But it's launching with Mario Kart World. That is a very, very big deal. Granted, the game is $80, but if you get the bundle, you save $30, so that's a plus side. And I do want to say they're hiding things from us for this game. I think there's going to be a single-player mode. I think there's more characters. I think there's things they are hiding because they are doing a direct in like 4 days as I'm talking, on April 17th. Yeah, they are doing a direct for Mario Kart specifically, so they're definitely hiding things that people have not seen, people have not played yet, and that's really exciting, you know. That being said, Mario Kart is day one, you know. And yes, there's the wheelchair game or whatever, but a month later is Donkey Kong, a 3D Donkey Kong game. And then throughout the rest of 2025, we have Metroid Prime 4, Kirby Air Riders, and probably more. Probably, we might get a 3D Mario this holiday. We might not. I don't know for sure, but we got some real good banger games that are coming. Plus upgraded versions of older games from the Switch era, plus DLC for our boy Kirby, as well as DLC for Mario Party Jamboree if you get the camera, and that's probably what's going to make people want to buy the camera in some kind of way, or connect your own cameras, whatever, because they're giving us a reason, because we want to play Mario Party with our friends and do all the new cool, fun stuff. That being said, though, the Switch 2 has games. It has exclusive games. It has upgraded versions of older games. It's doing things right on the game side, with the exception of Mario Kart's price, okay? I hope the $70 for most games will be a normal thing. I hope they don't do $80 anymore. I just figure they're doing it with Mario Kart because they think they can get away with it because it's Mario Kart. But, like I said, you can get the bundle of the console and save yourself $30, which is, that's 30 flipping dollars. That's half the cost of a game, nearly. So, that's what most people I know are probably going to go with, even though I want Mario Kart physically so freaking bad. I feel like most of us are not going to get it physically, which is a shame. It really is a shame, because my physical collectors out there, you know, we love to collect our games physically, and I think that Mario Kart is something that we want to have physically really bad, but for $80, it's just, it's not, you know, it's not something I really want to pay $80 for. That being said, though, the Switch 2 has some really good games already lined up for the beginning, and not to mention the third-party support. We got Elden Ring on this thing, which I think might be day one, and day one we have Cyberpunk 2077, which I want that personally because it's the complete edition, and I never played the DLC, and I did enjoy the original game, so I'm down to replay that. The thing runs fantastic. It does everything it's supposed to do, and I think that we'll see how their first year goes with this thing, but I think they got a pretty strong lineup of games coming the rest of their first year, at least the rest of 2025 for this thing. And I think the potential is really strong here. Not to mention the Wii U era didn't have Nintendo Switch Online service. It didn't have NSO. It didn't have all the classics and all that stuff. And Switch 2 is launching day one with GameCube on it. Granted, only three games, which does kind of suck. But they're still really strong contender games. You know, Wind Waker, fantastic game. Soul Calibur 2, really fantastic game. And you can play it online. It has online support, which is crazy. I hope their online is better. But still. And F-Zero GX, which you can also play online with friends, that's still a really good first few games being added day one on the Switch 2 to give you more to play outside of playing Mario Kart World or the wheelchair game or their tech demo, which is $10. I'm not getting that tech demo for $10. That's going to be a waste of $10 because how long are you going to play it? Like an hour? Like an hour maybe? That should be free. Whatever, though. That being said, though, that is the reasons why this isn't going to be a Wii U situation, because they know that they need the games. They're going to make the games. They're going to have strong, really good games for this system, the same way they did Switch 1 to build success on this console. Are they going to sell more games for $80? Let's hope not. Let's hope not. I don't want the gaming industry to go towards $80 games. I want them to stick to $70. We're used to $70, and I feel like the more you get closer to $80, it just sucks. It really sucks. But at least there's the bundle. So at least there's that. Justifying the $80, I can't yet until the Mario Kart Direct. We'll talk about that after the Direct happens. I'll make a video on it this week. But this video should be up on Monday. I'm filming this on Sunday night because it just makes things easier for me when I get home tomorrow. But that being said, I just wanted to remind you all, this isn't going to be a Wii U situation. Because it got games. It's got support from third-party companies. It's got strong AAA first-party games. The price of the console isn't horrible. I do believe it should be $50 cheaper. I really thought it was going to be $400 and $450 for the bundle. I really, really thought so. But it is cheaper than a PS5 or Xbox without a game. It's $500 with Mario Kart. PlayStation 5 is over $500 technically if you buy a game with it. I think. I don't know. Maybe not anymore. But I don't know. I'm just a guy who likes talking about video games, and the Switch 2 is been a hot topic, and I really just wanted to talk about the Wii U and how that console it did a few things for me, you know, in the past, you know, I made a few memories, but like it wasn't the Switch. And we'll do a video on the Switch as well before the Switch 2 comes out. I'll do a video on like my memories with the Switch 1 and how it might be my favorite Nintendo console like ever. I don't know. I just have I have so many fond memories with the Switch. But that's for another video. That being said though, that's just my take. If you guys think this is going to be another Wii U, if you guys think the Switch 2 is going to fail, let me know in the comment section down below what you think. If you think this thing is going to fail due to pricings, is Nintendo's downfall going to be due to pushing games to $80? Even though you can get Mario Kart with the bundle, are they going to do more games for $80 instead of $70? Is the next 3D Zelda in 3 to 4 years going to be $80? A lot can change in 3 to 4 years. That being said, though, that's just what I wanted to say, what I wanted to talk about with the Wii U to the Switch 2 and the Switch and how this thing might succeed, might not. We'll see how the launch numbers do within the first week versus the Switch 1, and we'll go from there. And then come Christmas time, I'm curious how this thing is going to sell versus the Switch 1's first Christmas season as well. That is going to really... we'll be able to compare our numbers, because I don't think it's ever going to make the Switch numbers, but I still think it can make good success and not fail the way that the Wii U unfortunately did. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked this video, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, as we got more Nintendo talk coming soon and other video game things going on as well, and streams and stuff like that. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.